Up, I'll ask my two cornerbacks to take one more look at Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Deron Bland.
Why you do it to him?
Oh, it's not fair. Like, this is putting it on.
Oh, yes. We all thought the same thing, CD.
That left foot was hitting that gas pedal multiple times, and it just couldn't land. It's happened to the best of them.
Didn't he have like 10 pick sixes in a season? Let's think of brighter days for Bland. He was awesome that year. He could not score a touchdown every play.
He was the only receiver, by the way, in the formation. Why is he singled up like that? Like, why does...
You're anticipating a run. You're gonna, you're
I
on the
guess,
goal line and you're anticipating.
Nobody else there.
Gotta earn your check.
I mean, it looks worse than it actually is, like because he flipped.
It looks worse than anything, actually.
It don't get much worse than that.
It can't look worse.
I was going to say, like, are we going to try to church that one up? Like, it's like getting run over.
I'm saying, like, Brady's asking a question like it's a breakdown in coverage. Like, we all see what actually happened right there. Like,
that's called a Nolan Ryan on the offensive line. Swing and a miss.
My guy missed the ground.
No hitters.
What happened?
Nick, you said it. He had a lot of pick sixes.
Yeah, remember that? It was every play just going
Y'all
to the
fight for your man. Fight for him.
On we go to a new game. We'll talk more about the Cowboys and Cardinals as we go, but let's play bad game or bad sign because it was a weekend filled with upsets. Packers maybe suffering the worst of them all, losing at home to the Panthers.
As you look at this Packers offense and Jordan Love taking chances down the field, throwing the ball into a team meeting. One got intercepted when he did so. Other ones were in traffic. And I think on top of not only the performance, they lost Tucker Kraft for the year. I think that is a bad sign for this offense and where we're anticipating they can get to as contenders in the NFC.
Yeah, let's underline that one a few times.
Yes.
I mean, whatever it is that happened on the field Sunday, nothing more significant than losing a guy who had been maybe the most productive tight end in the sport to this point. And so the word on the screen was used here on this set yesterday a few different times. Jeff, do we think the Green Bay Packers are frauds?
I don't think they're frauds. I think the expectations of a Super Bowl solely lie on Jordan Love. And I said this a week or two ago. It's going to be his accuracy that takes the Packers to where they want or not. And he had a good game, when he goes and plays Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers, he has a bet. But this is what he does. And there's, from a quarterback position, you need consistency each week, right? And you can't have arm punch. You can't have this kind of philosophy. And he did not play his best against a team that they should have won at home.
That's the throw there that Rex.
That other one, he's like, all right, I'm rolling left. There's nothing here. I'm going to throw it up.
Dan.
When they acquired Micah Parsons, Dan Orlovsky was sitting right here and said, I would tell my quarterback, Jordan Love, be as aggressive as you can because we have a defense that's going to make up for it if you make a mistake, get you the ball back. So I think the Packers were listening to Dan or had the same idea because obviously this is the way Jordan Love's going to play. I think it comes with him that he's going to take chances down the field. So bad sign. Tucker Kraft loss is a bad sign. He's their team leader in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. They are going to have to adjust scheme-wise to get other guys available to make the explosive plays he has been making. I think this coaching staff can do it. You guys are looking at me like you think the quarterback's irresponsible, not aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Irresponsible. Definitely, that's not aggressive. Right. Like, that's not aggressive, right? That is throwing into triple coverage with not even seeing who's back there is not aggressive. Yeah, the only reason they're not frauds is because their defense. I'm being dead. They held them to, they held them to 100 yards past. Like, it's not like the defense didn't do their part.
In both games that they lost. That Browns game as well.
Yeah.
Let me try and get two more teams in quickly here. Lions also lost as a big favorite. Bad game or bad sign?
Yeah, I think it's just a bad game. This team has been one of the more consistent ones over the years. You could argue that the way that they approach this game offensively is a bad sign, but I think it's something that they can fix, and they fixed their offensive issues before. Their players, their most talented players, are healthy, and they had some injuries across the O-line, but I think getting the ball to Gibbs and J-Mo more often would help this team out.
Absolutely. And let me get my last one in because this is the one I really want to hear. Jeff, your beloved Indianapolis Colts. That was a rough day. Was it a bad game or a bad sign?
It's a bad game. And listen, anytime you turn the ball over 6 times, -5, and you ain't going to win many games in the NFL. But when you look at the biggest indictment of this game was the Steelers' defensive line got after the Colts' offensive line. Their edges got pushed. Daniel Jones got uncomfortable in the pocket. He made some throws that they took advantage of. The strip sack was a massive momentum thing. But this was Downs dropped it on a punt. Like there was a lot of things they were just sloppy penalties. They just weren't this. I think that's a bad game, not sign.
It's the first time we've seen this offensive line play poorly this year. So I think bad game. If we start seeing it,
sure,
or if they started having injuries there, maybe a bad sign. But right now, I think they're not going to turn over 6 times in a game again.
Yeah. The offensive line issues also allowed to expose one thing. As much as we like the group of weapons that the Colts have, they have one guy in Tyler Warren that I think is unguardable, but the Steelers had someone who could neutralize him. It's so rare that you have a cornerback that's also big and physical enough to play against Tyler Warren. Right here, this is 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
That's Ramsey. And on all the man coverage situations, Ramsey was on him. Right there, that creates a field goal. Right here, this is Ramsey going in motion, and you watch, look over there. Oh, I don't want that again. Gonna go back and just kind of blindly throw it in the middle of the field and turns the ball over. Not everyone else. Most of the time, you have a man coverage matchup against Warren. He has the size, or speed, or physical advantage to get the job.
Here's the problem, is that there were just a lot of people around there who were just waiting for something like this to happen so they could say, see, that's the Daniel Jones. And he's going to have to overcome that with big performances in big games.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen from this offense, not only is he going to have to overcome that, but he's going to need the guys around him. That's why Daniel Jones has been so good. He's been able to manage this offense with a really good offensive line, some good weapons on the outside, and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. And to Nick's point, when you talk about guys that can separate, it's probably time for them to start talking about adding A.D. Mitchell back into this offense because he's the guy that has that ability to separate.
Real quick. Shane Steichen, first game I've seen him get taken out of his game. Like 50, he threw it 50 times. Like not enough Jonathan Taylor touches, right? They tried to get Abdullah, get back to basics.
More on the Sunday action as we continue, but we'll get back to Monday night next. A disaster for Dallas. A stunning admission from their own owner about why he likes to stir the pot. You've got to hear all of this, and you will, as we continue on Get Up and ESPN Bet.
Be an awesome game as Week 9 is now in the books, so you know what time it is. Time for another Overreaction Tuesday. It's Dan Graziano. It is Jeff Saturday. Let's get into it. Start in the AFC. The Patriots need to add a running back at the trade deadline. Dan, is this an overreaction or not an overreaction?
I think it's an overreaction. They didn't have their starting running back, Ramondre Stevenson, for Sunday's game, but I don't think that's a long-term absence, and their run game was fine without him. I think, they're able to plug in Terrell Jennings and the rookie Trevion Henderson and do just fine. Patriots have a good thing going. I wouldn't mess with it too much. If they are going to make an acquisition, I think they could use a big-time playmaker at wide receiver or certainly some more help on the edge. But I don't know that they need to stretch to go get a running back.
Yeah, I agree. This is overreaction. I think with what Mike Vrabel has and what they have going there in New England, develop from within, right? They got a young running back. Let's teach him, hit the holes. Let's continue to get everybody touches. To Dan's point, with Stevenson not there, you have plenty. It's going to be running back by committee anyway. So let's just teach the guys to hit and be the most efficient backs we can. I don't think any change is necessary here.
It is a sensible reaction because the Patriots, who have won 6 straight games, did rush for 110 against the Falcons in the win on 33 attempts, and they've always been a committee backfield.
I hear wide receiver playmaker. I think maybe a reunion with Jacoby Myers. Let's keep it in the AFC. The Dolphins should take calls on everyone they have, including the quarterback. Dan, overreaction or not?
I don't know who's calling about the quarterback, but it's not an overreaction. The Dolphins season is obviously going nowhere. They fired their general manager on Friday morning. You fire your GM 4 days before the trade deadline. That indicates something, and I think what this indicates is the Dolphins are looking to pivot here into something like a rebuild, and anyone who's not identifiable to them as part of their future, they should consider getting some picks for while they still can.
Yeah, I'm going to say a bit of an overreaction right here. Taking calls on everybody. We got to have some nucleus. Somebody's got to coach the team next year. So, I think when you're talking about full fire sales, I think there's specific players maybe that, the contracts aren't what you want or where you want that you might look. But there's got to be some staples on your football team that you're going to keep and try to build around. You know that everything gets a little better when you win. They can find ways to win, but you got to have a nucleus of players players. I remember when Jim Moore got fired and Tony Dungy came in, it wasn't like a wholesale change. You got to keep some pieces and parts to build around that nucleus.
Hey, let's head to Chicago, gentlemen. In the NFC, the Bears should ask the Bengals, the 5-3 Bears, by the way, should ask the Bengals if they will just let Trey Hendrickson get back on a plane to Chicago and join him in the Windy City. Dan, is that an overreaction or not an overreaction?
To be clear, this did not happen, but I don't think it would have been an overreaction if it had. The Bears are a team that has, under Ryan Poles as their general manager, been pretty active and pretty aggressive at the trade deadline. You mentioned they're 5-3 in a very competitive NFC North that has yet to sort itself out, and they need help on the defensive line and at edge rusher. They had another injury there this past weekend. So, yeah, if you're looking at a team that would be aggressive to try and cash in a hot early start, the Bears would fit that description. I don't believe the Bengals are interested in trading Trey Hendrickson, but if that stance changes, I would think the Bears should be at the front of the line.
No, not an overreaction at all, and I fully agree with what Dan is saying. Yeah, if you can get Hendrickson, you grab him, but this is not just for the Bears. This is for anybody in the league. I mean, this guy can come and help your football team. He can rush the passer. It's a position that, honestly, you can kind of fit in a system very quickly and have production very quickly. So the Bears definitely need that on the outside to help them with pass rush, especially if they want to get pressure with their front. But that would be not an overreaction for 31 teams, honestly. So as much as we're talking about the Bears, this could go for anybody.
Yeah, you can find Dan's full overreactions article on ESPN.com. A lot of agreement today. It's unsettling, but it's nice to see. You can catch these two top of the hour on Get Up. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Hey, from the top of the hour.